Hello and welcome to day 46. Oh, this is getting very interesting. So tomorrow is the Fire Horse year. The horse is finally being released out of its gates, and I have no clue what's going on right now, but there's just something that wants to come through, and this is not what I had planned for today at all. And there was something that happened this morning. So we're on the final day of the snake year, and I'm snake in snake year. So I've been kind of waiting for, I don't know. No, I haven't been waiting, but I've been feeling like this is easy. Which maybe I shouldn't have stated out loud. So today I was going to start talking about my personal detox journey, but then the fire horse energy just started to enter. And I was going to talk about something else, and then I was going to prepare, and I was going to tune back into how to tie this together with my detox journey and the end of the 9 years, and and then there was another energy starting to come through, and then my body just started setting up for the for the live, and I was like, what's happening here? What are we doing? And I'm realizing that something wants to come through. And then I started writing, and I was sitting here writing with everything set up. And then I realized, like, okay, I got to go live. Okay, something wants to come through. And then I just surrendered and realized that that is the fire horse energy coming through me now, wanting to put me even less in control, and throwing myself out there even more and only just following. So now I just follow. So I realized that it's going to be a fire horse transmission, and there are so many interesting cycles closing. So something happened this morning where I realized that we all have things that we believe are set in stone. That is things that would never happen. When we look at it from this perspective, we realize, okay, it could happen, but no, it can't. It won't. It will never happen. And then there was something for me this morning that was triggered when I realized that, that's not true. And that shook me a little bit. And then I started to feel this, so this is where the energy comes in. So it felt like when something that can't break breaks, there's almost like a vacuum. It's like time stands still. There's this kind of, and then I realized that is the void, and that propelled me into this massive realizations, which started to realize that, okay, what I was feeling has nothing to do with reality. What I'm feeling is the energy of the fire horse coming through at the final day of the snake year. So it's like the energy of the fire horse kind of whips something at the tail end of the snake. It's like a relay. So when they touch, there's like the snake kind of blossoms, like in a final thing almost. That's how it feels. And that is where I realized, because what I started to feel in my body was freedom. And that's when I saw the connection. So from the lens of freedom, like, what is freedom? What is the feeling of freedom? That is to be not tied down. And that also means like nothing is set in stone. To not be tied down, that means like nothing is touching. That means that there's a separation. That means that everything is up in the air, everything is floating like this. And that's the so when the unbreakable breaks, there is a new level of freedom. And that was like, wow, because I could feel the feeling, I could see the energetics, and I could experience everything at the same time. Because there was this, the pain of something breaking, because no matter if it's good or bad, there's a pain of something breaking. That is why we always grieve the growth, because there's a pain in something breaking. And it doesn't matter if it's to the better. There's still a grieving process, because something breaks, something ends, something dies. So I was experiencing this total death experience and the total life experience at the same time. And that's when this and that breath, that expansion in the chest that happened was equally shock and oh no. And it was equally excitement and freedom and let's go. And I was just perplexed in that experience. And that's when I realized that this is also the end of year 9. And they say that it's the year 1, but there's a lot of people also says that it's the year 0. And when I looked at it from this perspective of 0, then we're in the void. That's not a this that's not a feeling of year 1. That's a feeling of year 0. And this year 0 is the void. So the freedom is the void, right? Where anything is possible, where there is silence. So all of a sudden, I realized that the year of the fire horse is like the void on fire. Because in the void, yes, because I've been studying the fire horse energy a lot recently. I mean, it would be strange if I didn't, right? So I've been studying and I realized there was someone talking about it. They just mentioned it, but it really hit me, and I could take it and I could make it bigger, and then I could look into it and look around and realize this is the truth. Like, found it. And it was that the year of the fire horse is where the experience of time starts to bend, because I've been picking up on this for a long time, that there's been a lot of people, different people. I'm paying attention to a lot of people, and then I listen to the patterns of what there is. Like I'm tuning into a field of information that is from me, from the universe, from what other people say, and I'm like I'm just listening. and then I pick up on the patterns, and then I map that to my own experience, and then there's something that goes, interesting, then there's a match, and then my sacral lights up, so my body tells me, and then vroom, I follow, and then I check it out and I start to map, and so this is what this is what I'm doing when that's what I'm doing. So I realized that time, there's been a lot of talk about time lately in different aspects. So when I realized that it's the energy, the energy zero, and the void, and the freedom, and so I'm starting to realize this. And there's also a lot of space talk lately. So we're really, that's the void is space, and that there's space inside, and anything can happen. So after chaos comes clarity. So we are in the end of year 9. Energetically, I would say that we're in the energy of end of year 9. We're going to step into the year 0, and then it's going to be the year 1, because also everyone is talking, no one is talking about 2026. Everyone's talking about 2027. So why is that? Yes, because 2026 is the year 0, and then the year 1 is but it doesn't really matter, because it's a stepping stone. So you could, and this is where doesn't matter what is true, because you know that the principle is correct, and then you can argue about what comes first, the 0 or the 1. Have we heard this before, people? Yes, things come back, and when you realize it's a trap, you ignore it, it can still be true. Interesting, right? So that means that the chaos that we are experiencing, that is just so, that makes everything so the energy of the void is uncertainty, and the what is true, what is real. So where do we have this in the world right now? Everywhere, because AI is here, and the noise out there is deafening. When I go into Instagram, there's just so much noise that it's like, so on Instagram so we have these representations everywhere around us. So the artificiality is like, what is real? Who is real? It's like, if you see some people, because the algorithm nowadays presents you, I mean, if we look at how it used to be, when we only saw the information of our friends and nothing else, and then came ads, and then came recommendations, and now it's just like, where's my friends? It's like, so the feeling is, where it's like, where is something tangible? Where is something real? What is artificial? And who can we trust? And so who can we trust? What is real? And what is illusion? Because now also, when we start to bend time, and the consciousness is shifting, and if we're going to go from one thing to another, if we have 9, that's why 9, 0, and 1 for me is a good representation. I don't mean it as truth, and that you have to argue with me about it, because then I'm not going to be there. So now I lost my train of thoughts, because I thought I was funny. This is the problem with either being, super professional and just hosting a seminar and just click through there's a point in that. That's what I'm saying. I'm leaning over to the other side, so that might be confusing and frustrating at times. So, but that's the downside because that's just who I am. So I'm working on it. That's what I'm saying. Lost myself here. So the year 9 means that we're ending something substantial. So there's a big thing that is ending, and then the 0 is the confusion and the shift between something else that is forming. That means that this is solid, this is solid, this is not solid. Because if something is changing, then this means that this is not solid. So when it's not solid, there is high levels of insecurity, high levels of doubt, and there's also the lack of trust. And so this is the energy that we are in. So if you're experiencing the fact that it feels like things are breaking, something new is not formed yet, that is this void feeling. So if this void feeling means that, and that's what the beauty is, where there's chaos, there is the biggest potential of possibility. So we see this in other patterns in the world, where people who want to gain more control over things deliberately creates chaos, because then you can maneuver with awareness because you're not afraid of what's happening. Then you can take high advantage of that. That is the same concept as what's happening with freedom. So we have freedom on steroids. We have freedom on fire. That means things need to break so that energy can travel fast. If it's solid, energy cannot travel fast. Open, energy travels fast. So the energy that you want to apply to yourself within this possibilities, with this space of possibilities. Let's say that you are unregulated. Let's say that you have a lot of fear, that you have, so there's two ways. Either you just freeze and you stay still and you do nothing, and then the world is going to be in chaos, and then it's going to come back and you are going to be in the same place. If you're in freeze, then you go, then you lose. I'm not going to, that's also that's a strategy, that's a tactic, but that's a survival strategy. That is not a expansive, transformative adventure way of navigating things. So when we are okay, I got a comment. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be present here with you every evening. Such a gift. Thank you. I'm so happy about that as I lose my train of thought. Oh, I don't want to lose my train of thought. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, because it was starting to get interesting. Oh, it's stressing me out a little bit. Okay, so this is the transformation. This is the end of snake year. It's getting super uncomfortable. Oh. Oh, yeah, this is really uncomfortable. Okay, so it's like the skin shedding. Oh, okay, this is why it's gonna happen. I have to turn on the aircon now. Okay, so when we have the endless possibilities, we want to move through it. So if we are aligned with the energy. So if we're coming from a lot of fear, unregulated fear. We are unaware. We have a unregulated nervous system. It's going to go like this. The nervous system, if we have a regulated nervous system, our experience goes like this. And that's not going to be harmonious with this type of energy, because this type of energy, you need to travel small. You need to go. So if we have it's like this, the Kundalini. But if we have a like this, there's going to be so many moving parts. So you're going to hit everything and you're not going to know what is what. You're going to not be able to separate from what is what. There's just the awareness is not there. It's too many moving. It's too hectic. It's too chaotic. If we're rushing, if we're urgent, if we are not aligned, we are making too many waves. If you can understand what I mean, it's like you are making too much noise. When it's so much noise and you're making so much noise, that's just not compatible. So the energy that we want to, so if we look at, if we're unregulated, then we're like this. And then if we are regulated, then we are aligned, then we go like this. And then we can, it's like you can bypass all the things. You're agile. And then it's like you're making yourself not small, but it's like you fit, if that makes sense. If you're going to ride a horse, you can't overpack the horse, and you can't pack it too small either, because then you're not going to survive. So it's like being very aware of, I'm packing the right things. So the year of the dragon and the year of the snake has just destroyed everything that is just not supposed to come. And the more you have been leaning into these energies and taking advantage of it, the less stuff you have with you. And that's perfect, because now you're going to jump up on the horse and you can only bring, the right stuff. You can only bring what's true, because otherwise the horse is not going to make it, because you have overpacked and you just have too many things and you don't know what you're doing. If you're jumping on the horse with only the right things on, then the ride is going to like this. That's the analogy. So this energy because it's so easy to, because I mean, the information about the fire horse is everywhere. I've never been through, and I've been following these Chinese years for like 15 years now. So all of a sudden, everyone is talking about it. And I haven't experienced that before. But I notice what all this information on internet is saying. And they're saying all the correct things. It's speed, it's courage, it's power. So the horse is the freedom and the transformation and the liberation and the wisdom and the big heart. And then the fire is totally unpredictable and transformational and rapid. And together it's just courage and boldness. And I mean, it's incredible. It's an incredible energy. And speed. And this is the energy where time is starting to be experienced in a different way, because it's the speed and the unpredictability. So it's this time hopping. So if we have a lot of unprocessed stuff, that is going to be uncomfortable in this year. But the year is also, so it's not about, oh, I just found this and I haven't really worked through my stuff, and I know that my nervous system is a little bit unregulated, and we all have more things we could do, you know. That's the whole point. So we're not doomed, because then everyone would just be doomed, and that's just not what's happening. The other side is, oh, it's where we can take advantage of this energy and align ourselves quickly. Because if the year is quick, the year is bold, the year is transformative, that means I can be quick, I can be bold, I can be transformative if I understand the energy. And that is what I'm so obsessed with, like understanding energy. What does it mean? How does it feel? What, like anyone can say that the horse is fast and the horse is brave, and you know, but how do I how do I do that, you know, like what does that mean, and what does it mean for me, because we're all different. So I'm fire snake, so I like the fire, and because I've been in deep snake pit shedding skin for 9 years, I've been snake in all these I've been taking advantage of all the years for the past 9 years to really shed my skin. That means I'm understanding this differently now. It's very exciting. It's very exciting. So it's about it's just how do I make this fit for me? How do I take advantage of this? Because there's an advantage. There's always, remember, there's always two sides, always. The bad side and the good side, the opportunities and the challenges. And we all going to have different opportunities and different challenges in the year, because we are more or less compatible. There's different combinations, and they're all going to be different, and all going to have positive, and all going to have challenges. So opportunities and challenges. So it's like, how do I use this? And that's what's so amazing when I see there's so many people realizing all of this and understanding that there is energetic currents that we can align ourselves with and that we can rub off on. I want more freedom. I want more courage. I want more boldness. I want a bigger heart. I want to, you know, be agile in time. I want to be flexible like that. So then I immerse myself in the energy, and then I say, here is where I can use this. So I'm using this format, for instance, is because I started to feel the energies a bit earlier, because I think that I'm a bit sensitive to it, and I can adapt, and I'm also paying a lot of attention. So I think I can pick up, because I believe that there's no, like, it's not like the call centers, you plug one out and then you plug one in, and then there's a between. I think there's more like there's these energetic storms and currents that are, you know, going, they're overlapping. It's like that. It's like, you know, the dragon that is chasing its own tail. You know, you have the tail. It's overlapping. So I'm realizing that this is very much my boldness, the speed, the continuity, the freedom of speech, because I'm liberating myself with something, because I'm starting to notice, and my God, we're on day 46. When 52, 50, I mean, I can't count now, 54, then we're halfway. What the hell? What happened? You see, time, it's already, you know, and I'm having this Groundhog Day feeling. And that is what the chanting, if anyone has done a real chant at some time, like really chant, and especially if you've done it with monks in a temple, you know, then, you know, you just lose time. You just know, you don't know where you are. because you go deep into the meditation and you go into the mantra, because the mantra has a frequency, it has an intention. All mantras has an intention. And then you go in, and the resonance of everyone, I mean, you just, and then the repetition, there is something incredibly powerful with that. And I understand, because I've received support from these people with help for situations, and it works. It's so powerful. So when I started, so I didn't know what this was going to be. I didn't know. I just trusted. I just followed. And when it came to me that it was going to be 108 days, and I even made the connection in the description that it's the connection to the chant, and that there's going to be something like a chanting, and that I'm experiencing that. It feels like I'm in the middle of my chanting, and time is bending, and things are happening, and there's something's happening. I'm telling you. So it's just interesting. And I also noticed that before I've done this in the day, there's like a creative stagnation. I'm like, oh, before I've done this, so after I've done the live, I feel, woof, I feel this freedom. So it's like before I do the live, I'm in snake. I'm like uncomfortable and like, ugh. And then this, and then afterward, I'm free. It's like anything is possible. I can do anything. It's like no obstacles. No, it's like it's like I'm washing myself in something. It's like I'm cleansing myself, and that again, that is what a chant is. It's a purification. It's a magical tool. Isn't this, I mean, it's a bit interesting. And it's freaking me out a little bit sometimes if I look at it. And then I realize, okay, if you overlook things, if you're obsessed about it, then, so this is, have we spoken about this? This is a little bit like quantum physics stuff, that if you look at something long enough, like then you're gonna alter its natural behaviors, and it's like you stop processes through observation. So if you obsess about something and you focus in on something, so if you have a problem and you think about it all the time, then that's when you're blocking the process to solve the problem. So when I realized that, okay, then I'm observing it too hard, then I step away and I just allow things to be true and to be magical, and that things are rearranged. So that's how it feels with this year 0. It feels like I'm standing on the edge of nothing. Like I can't see the future. I'm really good at seeing the future. It's like everything is open. It's such a incredible feeling, and at the same time there's this, so the main energy that we will have to navigate in the horse year is the big waves or the small waves, because we're all going to experience different things. This is going to manifest completely different for 8 billion different people. And that is why all this noise that people are telling other people how to do things, and people have been consuming these ideas that other people are sharing with the world and realize this didn't work for me. So there's a huge mistrust because we're supposed to find our own way. The energy we're moving into is the okay. There's a duality of the chaos and the opportunity. If you lean into the chaos, you're going to break. If you try to align with if you try to throw yourself out there and be courageous and work with speed and I'm gonna try to be the horse. It's not, here it is. It's not a physical representation. It's an energetical representation. So the people who believe that, okay, I'm gonna be like the fire horse, run fast like I'm in flames. Ah, no. And run like the wind, and because you know that horses are also very easily spooked. Yes. So you don't want to run like the horse. You want to align with the energetics of the horse. So it's a feminine, and this is also why it's we're going into something new, is because the masculine structures has been very dominant, and that is about to change. So it's the masculine physical. The masculine is in the physical. It's in the matrix world. It's in this world. Clonk clonk clonk. The feminine is in the invisible. It's in the energetics. So what used to work before is not going to work anymore. And so when we try to materialize this energy, then we're trying to align with the old, and that's not going to work. So is it comfortable to ride a horse? Yes, if you know what you're doing, but it's also strenuous. If you don't know what you're doing, it's awful. So if you're trying to align with the old, that the ride is going to be awful. And then that's the shadow side, that's the challenge. And then the opportunity is to align with the energetics of the horse. And that is to be very aligned in the physical. And what does that mean? Not run around like I'm on fire, because that's being in the fight. That's the physical experience, that's being burned. No, I am the fire. So what does that mean? That's a completely different experience. So the external is going to be chaotic, and so the material, the masculine, the external, all of that is going to be representing chaos. That's going to be so much noise, and there's going to be a lot of yelling. There's going to be a lot of truths, because people have been through the dragon and the snake, and they are not going to keep their mouths shut, because people are coming out of people pleasing. So there's going to be a hell of a lot of noise, angry truths everywhere, which have to happen if we're going to move into something positive. So we need to realize that the madness has to play out before the positivity can roll in. It's like the battle has to work. Everything has to clash full front until it doesn't. There's a pendulum, and it's not done until it's done. But we're at the end. And when people are coming out of fear, bum, 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 then it's the releasing the pressure in the nervous system. So here we go again. The knowledge about the nervous system is the key to the energies of the world. There, I said it. So when it's chaos on the outside, if we're gonna, move with this energy and become this energy, what's going on the inside? There's just peace. And if the energy is the void, if we put that representation into the body, it's silence. And if we look at the representation of that energy in the body, in the feminine body, womb, what is happening in the womb? Creation. From what? Nothingness. And what do we have? Year zero, the void. So what is that? It's the year of creation. This is where something is being born. And that could be anything. And that looks like something different. That representation is different for every person. Again, a lot of truths and a lot of people who are getting bold, a lot of people that are speeding up. And if they are lacking awareness, that's going to be a lot of people running around being, and there's a false sense of urgency because you need to look at, am I really in danger? So what energy am I navigating from is going to be the absolute key. And we're going to, it's always the key. And that is why this moment it's in time is so incredibly interesting, because that has been the solution to all human grounding and leveling and stress always. It's not that the human all of a sudden, now we have a nervous system. It's not like we didn't have it before. So everything that is happening with evolution and all of this is just, we're going through the things. This is where we are at this time in our human planetary existence, that we act like we never had a nervous system. So we found that now, and now it's getting accessible to everyone. And we're realizing that it's the 1222. We realize that it's the ancient wisdom. And that's why I'm teaching the principles. So the principles are ancient wisdom that has been around forever. So it's not new information. It's just that it's getting accessed now. So now information is spread wildly, and everyone has access to ChatGPT. So there's just no, the teachings are the teachings. They are out there, and there's the teachings. The teachings. I was gonna say, don't hate the player, hate the game, but that's not true. Because the teachings are the teachings. They're just true, and that's why everyone is using the same teachings. It's just the intention that is different. So it doesn't matter if you go study with someone who turns out to be dark as the darkest, because the teachings are the same. It's just, how does the person use the teachings? Does it use it to spread love or fear? Am I doing it for personal gain over other people's? Am I taking or am I sharing? That's the only difference. And now people are getting access, and all of these things that used to be hidden is coming out in plain sight. And this is what I mean, where everything is going to become transparent, and everything is becoming transparent because people are learning. So there's many different levels that is combining to the reason why things are becoming visible. I mean, now it's like everyone is talking about the nervous system. And when the knowledge about the nervous system becomes core, if that's the lens of you, because if you look at other humans through the lens of the nervous system, you don't see a person that you don't like. You see a person that is hurting. Let me say that again. If you're looking at other humans through the lens of the nervous system, you're not looking at right or wrong. You're not judging. You're not looking at victim or villain. You're looking at people who are hurting. And punishment and guilting and shaming those people are never, ever going to change them. Love is the only real energy that heals. Love, mercy, grace, forgiveness, unity. So when we acknowledge the nervous system and the knowledge and the embodiment of the nervous system is yet very far away. So that's the problem. Okay. What about, why, if people have knowledge about the nervous system, yes, knowledge is not enough. Embodiment. That's two wildly different experiences. So knowing about what's going on, understanding is one thing, but the embodiment is a completely different thing. That is why the connection with the body is the only thing that will keep us, in the body and make small waves. Self-regulation. When you look at, when you listen to all this information about the fire horse, it's the self-mastery. Self-mastery, self-mastery, self-mastery is the key. Self-mastery is the way. Because stress and burnout is going to be on the other end. So the result of the fire horse, the shadow, if you don't know what you're doing and you're not aligning, you believe that you need to be, because the energies are going to speed up. And when you believe that the only way to get through that is to jump on that train and align energetically, that the nervous system, the body is just burns out. And we already have massive burnouts in the world. Just look, people are just falling as flies. So we are already fried. The nervous systems are already fried. And we're going into a fire horse year. So it's the water energy. And what is water? Yeah, that's the nervous system, the kidneys, water energy. We gotta cool down. So that the way is, so the combination of all of the things happening at this moment is very, very interesting. And everyone's saying the same thing. It's the road to the body. And it's the awareness and the connection and the unity and the love. It's like coming home. And if we're going from complete chaotic darkness and we're changing, what is it that we're going into? Yeah, peace, harmony, union, not arguing, not battling about truths, the opposite. So what is that? What is peace? Because you can talk about peace and you can operate from peace. That is two very wildly different things. Again, if you're not embodying peace, you are not representing peace. So it's the embodiment. So now we slow it down and into the silence. And what happens with time when we go here? So we're being guided back into this space where anything is possible, and we're aligning with the energies. So if freedom is the, and I step into that, then I can look at all the information. I can choose what I want to align with. I see everything clearly, and I can move like that. And it doesn't mean I can never be on fire, because we are women. We are all the things. It's just, where do I need to come back to align with this? Where's my home? So I can go out and do all the things as long as I return home. So if it's a rebirth of something, that's probably something that has to do with you. And then something is being born. And if we're going to understand what that is, we need to pay attention. So if it's going to be either it's going to be a unconscious rebirth of something, that, I mean, we're all different. We're all here for different reasons. So all the truths, I'm just sharing, if we want to do the work and if we want to align with it, this is. So having a conscious rebirth, that's basically the essence of the Phoenix rising. And I'm going through the essence of my rebirth through this process. So there's just so many intertwined things that is just, okay. And then I need to look away because, we're going too close to the sun. We're not supposed to understand everything. That's the mystery of the world. So the old paradigm that we are moving out of is operating from the mind. I have to know, I have to understand, because this is the only level that I'm operating from. The body doesn't need to understand anything. The body is just enjoying the day or not enjoying the day. You see that it's just low maintenance. There's nothing to figure out. There's just being. And is this being pleasant or not pleasant? Or, should I do something about that? And at the same time, the mind is, of course, invited along the way because there's no part of us that is not godly. But, we also need to harmonize. So maybe the mind can come along, but not raging, obnoxiously scared of everything and has to know everything. So it's like everyone's coming along. We all have our things and all our energies and all our centers and all our, sides of ourselves. And that's the beauty of the human potential. And you can be different things. I even contemplated starting to, because I have so many different energies inside of me, and I was even considering playing with, because I've been, I know that I can align with different energies, so I can look different. I was even playing around with looking different when I show up here, because it's fun, because it's creative, just, it's just an expression, and it's like, I don't have to look the same all the time, because I'm not the same all the time. I'm in different moods. I have personalities, I have quirks, I have, as we all do. And that is the old that is dying. The illusion of the perfection is dying. There's just this weird obsession with because it's so clearly an illusion. And you look at the yeah, now I'm considering if I should say this or not. But we spend a lot of time in Asia, and we work with nervous system regulation. And when we talk to people and when we experience, Asia, there are countries that stands out in being more shut down than others. And there are, like Korea, for instance, and you can understand why. And then you look at the obsession of the perfection of the skin, and the national obsession with plastic surgery and like this type of look. And it's like, this is where the artificial, so we're moving into, and that is also the predictions of the fire horse, is that there is so much innovation with technology and this artificial perfection that is confusing the body to the point where it doesn't know what to trust. So the antidote to that is, people are going to be very confused. There's a certain level of people who's going to align with this. And then there's another people, and then you have everything in between. But there's two poles. So one is going to be drawn to the artificial, and the other one is just not. I'm seeing all over that people are rejecting social media more than ever, because people are looking for real. It's just fake everywhere, and the body is just, the body doesn't align with that. And if you have a strong body connection, you're just gonna, it doesn't mean that you refuse AI in your life, that it's not black or white. It's about, how do I use it so it feels comfortable for me? Because that is a thing that we won't be able to stop. You're gonna, by the end of 2026, I think that people in most countries are going to have their first, home robots. I mean, people already have the robot vacuums, so it's already there, and smart watches and all of things, then smart houses and all of that. That's just the beginning of that. That's just going to, and smart cities and all of that. So there's going to be the split, and we spoke about the split when we ended the year of the snake, or when we started going to the year of the snake, because the dragon was the hammer, boom, and then it split, the snake, two splits. And then we're going to have one who's aligning with a little bit of the old, and we're going to have people who people are aligning with different things. And you can look at it as a multi-dimensional split, because there's not just two, because we have everything in between. So it's the analogy of this two split snake's tongue and the split. But in reality, it's multiple truths. It's just, and that is the split that is coming. Can you see how that is, how that energetically ties together? that the split is not two-dimensional, is multi-dimensional, and everyone is going in different directions. So the split, so the hammer is the, and then we go. So now we are in the orbits, and we're even seeing orbits in the sky. So you just look at what's going on, people. So where was I going with that? Yes, the split. So we're going into the split, and we are going to align. We're going to find ourselves. It's more like what. So the what's happening is that we're being split from the masses, and we're aligning in our own truths. So that's why things are breaking, and we're going to. So we used to belong to big masses, and now we are belonging to small masses. So if something big is breaking, that means there's small particles. So that means we're going to find new communities, and we're going to align with new levels of truths. And those communities are going to be small because they are going to be very precise, if that makes sense. And then those are going to find harm. So if we are in something new, and people are going to harmonize with small clusters of people, and small can be 4 or 100 or 1,000. I mean, that can still be small, but it's going to be very harmonized. The people who find the same clusters are going to be very much alike. So it can be that you belong to different small clusters, but when there used to be like a distance and a, you just show up, and you don't really think nothing of it. You're just there. And now the body is just gonna, what am I doing here? What are these people talking about? Like, no. And people might even stand up and say, like, I don't agree with this. Like, okay, who cares? It's like people are gonna stand up and say what they want to say in not harmonized. And that's the part of the noise and part of the chaos. So on the other side of that, we're going to find small, super aligned clusters, and those are going to grow over time. So we're going to start to see more harmonized communities. And that is, again, after chaos comes order. So we're going through a natural process. And that's also when the body can calm down a little bit, because we're going through universal shifts, and now we're just at the edge of darkness. And you align with that however you want. There's no rules. You do what you need to do to feel called. I'm only here to offer advice how to feel aligned with whatever you want to do. And some people are going to feel super aligned with being partly, speeding up the tempo and doing, living it, but not to the extent that they break, because the vessel is what's going to determine how quick can you go in this energy. It's like going to space. Again, space analogy. You have to have the right atmosphere. You have to have the right oxygen. And if the body is not suited for it, it's going to be uncomfortable and it's going to break. But if you're aligned, I mean, if you go small things like this, you're going to go in hyperspeed. There's just nothing you can't do. So again, it's the returning to silence to be able to move in high precision, ultra speed. Okay, so I will be back tomorrow. And I'm going to actually look through my notes. So I did a lot of work on the fire horse earlier this morning. And I made a lot of notes. And I haven't even gone through them today. I just took the biggest ones, the ones that came through. So I shouldn't even promise about tomorrow, but it is the first day of the fire horse tomorrow. So it would be interesting if we didn't talk about that. But what do I know? Apparently nothing. So I'm going to go through this because there's more to say about this year, because there's more information. But I really want to break it down and not just say that, oh, we're going to be courageous, we're going to be fast, we're going to be, because everyone else is saying that. They just know, we know that. But what does it mean? How does it affect us? So we're going to continue tomorrow, probably. And yeah, this is a very interesting, it's very interesting. And I'm realizing that that is what the mastermind is all about. The Phoenix Rising Mastermind is just really learning to align with these energies. And when you work in close proximity with me, it's just like, okay, how do we map you and the energy? How do we map you and what you want and what's going on? And just, it's all about this. That's the mastermind. And the one-on-ones and the wellspring. So this is basically what me and Simba have been devoting ourselves to the last 9 years. There's nothing else that we do. So if you want to work with us, there's many different ways to do that. And I'm having a fire horse launch celebration party now in November. So I'm discounting the mastermind. It's a 4-month commitment where you get access to the wellspring. So you get the nervous system work, that's a bonus really, but it's the foundation. So it's a bonus foundation. Contradictions. The nervous system work, the somatic work, the belief system works all in one. It's 8 sessions per month, and you get replays. So you don't have to join live. And then you get access to the sensational body course, which is going to be one of the foundational courses into descending into the feminine body and to connect with the feminine body, so you can operate from your own truth, your own knowing, your own expression, create your own abundance, your own personal power. It's the year of creation to really connect with the stomach, the womb, open up this area to access the creation, and install the safety and the sovereignty in the root, so you can open up the life force, open up the Kundalini energy, and so we can be brave, so we can be, okay, again, Kundalini energy. What energy would you want to align with? So it's like hand in glove. So that's what we're doing in Sensational. So that's an 8-week course. So that's also included in the mastermind. And the mastermind itself is 3 calls with me per week. And I only open up for 8 spots. So that is going to grow a little bit. Upcoming cohorts, or it's going to be an evergreen, so people can come and whatever. Sorry about that. So there's 3 calls per month, and there's 8 people. So we're going to be able to have really deep and intimate conversations about you guys and how to apply this on you. So you get both the community, because that is going to be so needed, to be with other sane people. So the mastermind gives you a lot of access, not only to me, but also to Simba through the wellspring. So this is the nervous system regulation. This is the somatic work. This is the belief system work. This is everything in one. So that is the key thing that I'm offering, the mastermind. And the Phoenix Rising Mastermind. And then I have one-on-one sessions. So they are discounted to 1/3 of the price. All the links are down below in the YouTube. So I'm giving a highly discounted price on my one-on-one sessions, so you can schedule them for the future, but you buy them now. And if you buy more than one and you do weekly, I also include Telegram support. This is so, I mean, that's just such a amazing opportunity to transformation, to have private sessions with me and Telegram support in between. I mean, the transformation is just given. And this is me getting bold, because I know I've been holding back about that. Like, oh, I can't say that yes, I can. I know what people in my space transform, and I'm just not gonna pretend that that's not it anymore. Wow, that felt good. And my fear is to come across as like self-righteous, a know-it-all, too confident, too bold, too, because also nobody has 100% a success rate. That's just not possible. And then but I realized that everyone that I work with has walked away with something. So I have changed everyone that I work with. But the fear of saying that, wow, I'm really good at this, and then have one person stating that that's not the truth, even if it's true or not, that fear, that is exactly the type of fear that is being challenged in the horse year, that we keep small because we are afraid that things will happen to us. And that is a nervous system reaction. That is the nervous system leading our reality. So we are being guided into expanding that part of ourselves where we stand in our truth, and we can speak from truth and stand in this confidence. And that is the fire horse, the confidence of knowing who you are. So I'm not surprised that this is happening, because that's what I'm, almost desperately aligning with, because I'm so done with I'll do anything. So I'm willing to challenge anything. And that's also why I know that I will change, because that is the surrender that I'm willing to make, that I'm just, so when other bodies come in close proximity with me and we start to work on things start to happen. And that's just how it is. And that's also nature's law. That's universal law. And how the nervous system speaks to each other, how the fascia speaks to each other. There's a lot of people talking about telepathy, that's going to become much more, understood and normalized. And so all of these things, the interconnected web that we've been talking about, it's all coming, it's all happening, it's all becoming part of the reality. That part could be, no, I'm not going to say like that. That's going to be a bigger part of, it's not only going to be the matrix. It's going to be the feminine aspect of things is going to be much, much, much more balanced in the future. And I think that is one of the big things, because the void is the woman territory. So I think we're going to see a lot of women just skyrocketing, and it's going to be the ones that does the inner work, and they're just going to phew. And I think there's a lot of women. I love that I have also noticed how more and more nervous systems are in training others. But yes. That is the thing. It's the close proximity to people who have done more work than you. That is healing in itself. It's like we're supposed to, that's why Oh, someone else was talking about this also with the fire horse. The law of, I don't remember the exact names of the, it wasn't attraction, it was law of, okay, I don't remember what the name was. But when you, law of association, oh, I go very excited there. Law of association. So law of association is that you become what you are around. You become the energy, the environment. So environment, this is again, exactly the same. People say environment is going to be important. Yes, it's the small clusters with super aligned people, and the nervous system is going to play the key role in that. And that's Simba's training, internal alchemy. Phenomenal, because it also includes the breath, the fascia, the nervous system, the energy work, and the tremors. And we haven't even started talking about the tremors in this. We haven't even talking about what to do. So I guess we got to do that at some point. Okay, 1:15. Okay. Long today. But the fire horse, I mean, it is one of my biggest. So my mother tells me to get a hobby. I have a hobby. It's called energy. So that means my whole life is my hobby. Energy is my hobby. That is. And I'm also a multi-dimensional detox specialist. I actually realized that after yesterday's live, like that's really one of the core things that I am too. Okay. Sorry for being so scattered. I feel like but it's just so I'm a line 2. So I'm the hermit genius, the crazy scientist, that energy. And when I'm in the most, then you get a little bit of that. So, but that's just gonna turn people away who don't like it. And, it's gonna be, the more authentic you are, the more people are gonna actually know who you are. And then people can actually align. So it's this perfection thing is just out the window, because you're not attracting the right people for you. If you're thinking about how to behave, or oh, thank you again for your time and energy. I never got the link for the Telegram. Do you have the link here for it? Yes, it's in below here, but I can post it in the comments too. Yeah, so the crazy scientist, that's just who I am. And if that's, isn't it better for everyone that I am transparent with that? And so people who really don't like that has not invested a lot of time in me. So that's also the 108, for me to be fully transparent and be who I am all the time, so that the people who don't like me, they don't have to be here. That's the place of the people pleasing. You just move away and subscribe to another channel, and you align with other people. And then you align with the ones that you don't like everything about everyone. When you really get to know people, there's okay, there can be few things, but and that's fine. That's just fine, because when you're not attached and it's not personal, then why would it bother me? So yeah, 1:18. We gotta hang up now. You hang up. No, you hang up. Okay, so thank you so much for asking for the Telegram group link, dear watcher. Join me in the Telegram. I invite to personal shares, comments. I post all the links, and I also reply to comments and questions. About every Sunday I go in and reply to things and have a conversation. And I also invite you to share what day you are on, and how's it going, and if something's coming up, and then I can speak to that in the things. Okay, we really gotta go now. Okay. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.